So, like I said, I was going to show you who I've been following here. One of the gentlemen, the other one is this David Wayne Miller. I've heard of David Wayne Miller before. I was watching some stuff he did on Hawaii maybe like 2 years ago, but he was going deep, because he really stresses proper grammar, and just with proper grammar, knowing grammar, you can beat cases. Um, he was just pointing out like something as small as the letter B. If it's not supposed, like if they use a word and uh, the spelling of it and they change one letter from it, if you know that that was changed and it's not in its proper place, you can win your case and throw out everything else. I mean, if you just know where grammar is supposed to be. But like I said, as I was watching this guy, he goes, whew, and maybe it's because I was taught bad grammar, because he points that out, that a lot, the school system purposely has taught us bad grammar, and we're purposely taught not to recognize things. And a lot of his stuff reminds me of things Arthur Scott Jr. was trying to teach me, especially when it came to like languages, computer coding, music, how to write music, and so on and so forth. And the grammar works in the same way you would write music. You got to know where the vowels are, or the sound is, the music, the notes, how many numbers, what key that is, and so on and so forth. So I want to go down here to some of the videos I thought were interesting. Now, I want to give you a heads up. David Wayne Miller is a 33rd degree Freemason. Well, you see, he claims it flat out. He's also a judge in Minnesota. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if Mark is. I haven't watched enough of his information to see that. So if you do sit down and watch this information, take notes and look up the things we're talking about. Keep that in your mind. All right. I don't want you to, become shocked, or, like I was watching it. So let me see. He does some pretty good ones. He illustrates them really simply, not like that. Let's see. Oh, live life, claim it. We'll do this one, right?
Well, as you know from my previous videos, you are actually in maritime, and they have a whole system to support the maritime law, i.e. shipmates, birth certificates and things like that, which are all maritime expressions. Just by using this word, for example, just to give people an idea of what I'm talking about, when you use this word, it comes from you being see things on the sea. If you were standing on land, when you make this expression of seeing, it would be sighting. Okay? So that's how you know. Sorry, beg your pardon. There you go. So that's how you know which language or which jurisdiction you are actually verbalizing yourself with. All right. So words are important. So to make sure that you know what you're talking about. Okay. So what is a live life claim? Well, when you're aboard a vessel, okay, like this, and you're traveling, your name will be written in all capitals, because journeying anywhere, i.e. car, rail, train or vessels, even today, is a precarious undertaking. So your name will be in all capitals, and that means that the ship owners or the captains cannot compensate for your life, but they can pay for your funeral expenses, but not your life. So hopefully that gives some sort of closure. So while you're traveling to your place, your destination, your name will be in all capitals from this point to that point. Okay? Now, when you come out of the ship, of course, you're back on the land and into safety, and your name would be written in upper and lower case, as it would be for a living person. Since nobody stopped and corrected the postmaster or the port authorities that you are not lost at sea, and therefore your name can be put back into upper and lower case, like mine would be like this. Okay, that's Mark. So if I'm traveling, it will be in all capitals like this, which is a Roman system doing things, but it goes back much further than that. It's actually thousands of years old. predates even Roman. Okay, so while while you're making that saving, your name is in all capitals, and because it's in all capitals, you have to go back into your upper and lower case, which is the designation for a person that is not dead or under precarious adventures, i.e. soldiering or whatever it is. So if you don't stop and correct, the Port Authority, which controls all vessels on this planet, will keep you as in all capitals for 7 years, and after 7 years you will be declared as dead or lost at sea. For the duration of that 7 years, you're lost at sea. You've got 7 years to come back and stop and correct them. So then, if you don't, your estate, which is your personal body as well, okay, and your tort and all of your sweat equity, is under trust. And of course, you guys know what this trust is. It's the 1666 Siskiyou Trust, and you will be in probate, and you stay in probate until you get yourself a live-life claim. Now, live-life claim is under...
That's that probate court Lex Will was talking about.
David's language, okay, and there are other ways of getting yourself out. In fiction, the Vatican has its own ways of doing things, which is like a thumbprint and
The Davis language.
two people witnessing that you are who you are in parchment paper, and they scan it. They scan the DNA, the blood, thumbprint, and things like that to say you are who you are. So there are many mechanisms that you can come out of this Siskiyou Trust and go into the world of live-life claims. So if you don't have a claim with two witnesses to say you are not lost at sea, you will be treated as probate. Okay? And the bureaucracies that deal with you will be dealing with you as a dead entity. And of course, those people that have gone into courtrooms or dealt with bureaucracies will quickly know how vile a process that can be. They really do treat you as if you are dead. Thank you very much.
See, and like I said, it's so simple. So simple, like it doesn't take you an hour or something like that. I mean, we're becoming familiar with the process, so we can fill in a lot of the rest. But I just thought that was, a nice way to show it to somebody that hasn't sat and watched 2 to 3 hour long videos where people break it down. There was another one that I shouldn't do. Why did I do that? Here's another one I liked that I've seen. There's another one about the woman, which I'll end with that one.
Hi there. Today I'll be speaking about what is a vessel and what a vessel in dry dock is. Okay. So the first question, of course, is what is a vessel? Well, a vessel is a ship or a boat or anything that can hold something, floats in the sea, like a boat definitely is a vessel, okay, because it's the vessel's register, it's a boat's register, ship's register, and a vessel, of course, is a vessel, and that can float as well as hold liquids and things in there, all right? You are also classed as a vessel because you hold things in it. You can hold ideas which are spiritual in nature, and of course they can be whatever ideas they are, and I'll let your imagination run with that. So you have blood inside of you, you have liquid inside of you, so therefore you are a vessel, all right? And you definitely can float, and if you can't float, you're not going to be swimming around the ocean, okay? So you are a vessel is a vessel, a ship is a vessel, okay? And these are the expressions of the language in maritime law. The language you use is the jurisdiction that you get. If you want a full comprehension of what I'm talking about, start reading things like Moby Dick, or the word has gone out of my head, but My Fair Lady, Pygmalion. You can read things like that too. They will give you an idea of the importance of language and the conduits that you're going to swim in by using that type of language. So it's maritime expression, and that's the language of maritime. Okay, now, what is a vessel in dry dock? Well, Now, if a ship requires repairs, it needs to go into dry dock to make those repairs, especially if it's under the ship or the hull or anything like that. So you have an opening here, okay, and you have a gate here. I think the gate's open outward as far as I know. And then the ship will go in, okay, and the gate will close behind. And the water will be pumped out back into the river, and until the ship is in dry dock. And of course it will be supported by scaffolding or be it great big poles and things like that to hold the ship in balance where the repairs can take place. So that's called a ship in vessel in dry dock or a ship in dry dock. Now the same mechanism that you have applies to all courtrooms, okay, because that's a vessel in dry dock, they fly flag. Police stations, nowadays the schools as well.
See, police stations, schools.
Colleges, universities.
Yep, colleges, universities.
Town councils, they're all operating under maritime law of a vessel.
And you notice something too. All of them, the police, right, act as armed soldiers in all those places, right? The police try to, claim that they're guaranteeing your safety by staying at your schools, at your banks, your universities and colleges. Well, universities, not so much colleges. I know that for a fact. Universities are supposed to have the university police on campus at all times. Colleges are smaller in nature, so they're supposed to just have security, but they're supposed to they are all run off of trust. Universities run with trust, the board of trustees and so on and so forth. You think about it, they almost all run the exact same way, but you don't see the same thing with other things like I don't know, a church, something like that. The post office is interesting because the post office is the commander of the military on land.
Right on. In bureaucracy, what is the significance of this? So if this is a ship from Japan and it flies a Japanese flag, this ship will still be the territory or the embassy of Japan. Okay, so if you went on board, you're trespassing and you've entered foreign jurisdiction or foreign territory. And the courtrooms, the governments, the schools, the universities, all of these buildings that are classified as vessels in dry dock by the flags that they carry, okay, are telling you they are a vessel flying a flag and they're in dry dock. All right? And if you look at words, things like bail, bailments, they all are maritime expression. Okay? Thank you very much.
And then let me see if I got time. There was another one that I wanted to show you. And then probably next week I want to show you the one where he starts talking about the post office, Zulu, and how the Zulu, Shaka Zulu was a 33rd degree Freemason. Not him, but the other gentleman is going to talk to you about that. Oh, here it is, women. There you go.
Good day, folks. A very quick and brief explanation about what is a free woman on the land. Okay. Free, of course, means that there are no contracts in place. Woman means man with a womb. Man is the species, not the sex. It's the species. The man with the womb, the species of man with the womb, is free from contracts. That's what that means. So if you can disqualify, so if you ladies can disqualify your contracts in place that are removing your sweat equity, then you can claim to be a free woman on the land. The land itself you can never own. Okay, you can never own land.
See, and when I was watching this video, it struck my brain. I don't think this has to do with the indigenous woman, the Aboriginal woman, because remember, they got their foothold on the land by getting the indigenous woman, right? So they can get her inheritance as well. So to me, this reminds me more of like if you were the descendants of Europeans coming here and you weren't the serf, you weren't the slave. This was their way of having, proving that they were free on the land. This title belonged to them, not the copper-colored women of the land. So I was just thinking about that. I don't want us to get confused, but I thought this was interesting.
But you can have security on on the place that you are, because no two people can occupy the same